Sup flappers, welcome back to another video. And yeah, I know, all right, trust me, you guys aren't the only ones completely excited, losing your minds over Yae Miko. I'm out here, right, holding in my dying urge to pull this character, test her out and everything. There's a lot of exciting things we saw during the live stream, and it just led to some very interesting questions. And I know a lot of these questions are just memes, but I'm gonna read them off to you guys because I think people are going way above and beyond to try to figure out what's going on here with Yae Miko, right? So some more serious ones are people asking me, you know, is Yae going to be the fix to Electro, or is Yae gonna come in and save Electro the element? Now I know there's a lot of people also watching my video who have mixed opinions about whether Electro does indeed need to be fixed or needs an upgrade, but let's be quite honest here, with exception to Raiden Shogun, what other Electro character is really like in the meta? And meta is a good way to test how utilized or how balanced, I guess, a character is. You could say Electro is balanced and everything else is just broken, but then what does the word balance mean, right? What is truly balanced? If everything else is broken and Electro is the only one that's balanced, doesn't that make Electro underwhelming compared to the other elements? So a lot of people do point to Raiden Shogun's like, oh, you know, Electro's fine. We got Raiden Shogun, Electro is completely fine. But I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to repeat myself. And will Yae save Electro? That's a question. Another question is, who's better, Yae or Ganyu? I don't even know where to begin to answering this question. Of course, people are asking, what about Yae versus Zhongli? Well, why did they ask for Ganyu and Zhongli specifically? Well, guess what? That's because that's the currently running characters. Should they go for Yae or get Ganyu or Zhongli? What's going on here, right? It's hard to answer these questions. It's hard, trust me. And you know, of course, the infamous one is, Yae Miko even worth pulling for? Is Yae even good enough to be worthy of investing resources into, considering where Electro is? How optimal will her team comps be? And how versatile will this character be, especially for free-to-plays, because they can only pick up a 5-star, well, guaranteed a 5-star maybe like once every patch and a half or something like that. So is Yae Miko really worth it? And of course, there's also the philosophical question of people asking me, you know, Yae versus Lisa, who moans better when climbing? Well, bro, like, honestly, I don't know. And I guess that one is really a personalized question, and it deserves a personalized answer. Another one people ask, which I guess you can just associate this one with is Yae worth it question, which is, how strong is Yae Miko? How strong is this character? Is she going to be canonically accurate, or is she going to be somewhat underwhelming? And then, of course, is she going to be a DPS power creep? And of course, we have to have a degenerate question going along the lines of, what color are her panties? I'm going to assume pink or purple. Thematically wise, it just fits, but who the hell knows? All right, who's coming up with these questions? I don't know. People, you guys think that I'm some sort of Mihoyo encyclopedia coming out here dropping these bombs of questions on me, but I'm, trust me, just as clueless as you guys when it comes to Yae Miko. Believe it or not, I really don't know. I can only, you know, make educated guesses, all right? And that's what a lot of this video is going to attempt to do, is make educated guesses. But remember, we know nothing until we actually get our hands on Yae to test her. Personally, though, from the live stream, I can gather a couple things, and mainly two things I want to mention with you guys. First thing is going to be that I believe, all right, I believe, you guys can go look at leaks if you want, but from here, I think it's pretty obvious. I believe Yae is going to be a DPS character. Now, whether she's going to be in the main DPS, support DPS, or support, we're going to be breaking that apart a little more in this video, just going into the possibility of her being in all these roles, or a select few, or maybe just one role. All right. And the second thing that I did gather from the live stream is that she has either parts or entire aspects of her kit scaling with elemental mastery. Now, this is also a key thing to note, because this can directly tie into her team compositions and whatnot. The fact that EM scales very well with a lot of current reactions available, and that includes currently a lot of people saying, well, weaker reactions, right? It just opens Yae up to potential pairings with almost everybody. With her being Electro, she's not limited to any specific reactions at all, and judging by how we've seen her play in the live stream, she could be one of the most versatile DPS options we have going forward. forward. Now, that's showering a lot of high praise, but I honestly do think miHoYo is trying to make Electro more versatile, more accessible to different team comps, and EM is a great place to start for a character to scale with more options. Continuing down this train of thought, there's also another common theme that Yae shares with currently existing characters, which is the fact that like many of her Inazuma brethrens, it seems like Zhongli won't be a necessary pairing here with Yae, which I think can lean to miHoYo allowing Yae for more damage options in her team as well. So think about it, an EM character, what's another EM character that doesn't share many, if any, teams with Zhongli? And that is Kazuha, that is Venti. So these characters who scales with EM, they want to be having more reactions, more things happening in their team comps. So before this was announced, I did say that Yae probably could also be slotted into a mono Electro team, and that seems to be less likely now. I'm still gonna try, but I don't think it's going to work out too well if you have 3 characters in a team who are all Electro. It's gonna be difficult to really utilize that EM trait, which is going forward going to identify Yae Miko and separate her from the rest of her group. So as mentioned previously, let's now entertain the idea for Yae to be fitting in DPS roles outside of a main DPS, right? So personally, I do think Yae could very well be a support DPS as well. Is she designed for this role? Maybe not. She might be designed for the main DPS. She might be designed for the support DPS. She might just be designed as a DPS facilitator. She also might be designed in a way where she can facilitate all roles that requires any DPS as well. Does that mean she also has the potential in being a burst support, right? We have to be open to these ideas until they are proven to be inefficient, and even then people are still going to try to make them work, right? We can't deny the fact that miHoYo, while they try to guide us towards a direction, they never completely seal off the potential for characters to be built in non-efficient ways, which I think is definitely a pro here. As we've seen in the stream, that Yae Miko's burst seemingly does one single strike of damage, which can be followed up with more continuous strikes based on how you use her elemental skill. Now, the question is also going to be how long her elemental markings last, right? Her elemental skill markings, as well as what other ways are there to stimulate their reactions. Does that mean that as long as you have the markings on the field, you cannot swap out to another elemental typing and deal elemental damage, because that'll end up proccing her elemental markings, which then takes damage away from her burst skill? Or do the markings only deal initial damage and apply the electro, and then they remain as interactable markings on the field, which will not interrupt with Yae's follow-up combo? Now, this question is going to be very important to answer. Why? Because this means that after Yae uses her elemental skill, it gives her the option to switch out to other characters to take advantage of the electro application that she had just done. Otherwise, then that would mean that followed by her elemental skill should always come with her elemental burst as a combo. I hope that makes sense, because these are some of the questions that immediately pops into my mind when I saw this character and just started to think about synergies and potential play styles and how versatile this character can be, with details to her kit that needs to be clarified further. Another question that I have is Yae going to rely on her skills and burst to do damage, or can we count on her auto attacks to be a good source of damage as well, right? Skill costs and CDs also plays a role in how long one DPS window can be, as well as her downtime, if any. So finally, I just want to let you guys know that these are all questions that, unless you look at leaks, and even if you do look at leaks, we have no definitive answers for how Yae is going to perform until her release. If we're to make assumptions, then this conversation can continue, and please do make assumptions in the comments below, as it's always interesting to read and respond to your thoughts. And personally, I'm just going to end this video with a little summary of what I think Yae Miko is going to be. I think after looking at the live stream, Yae Miko is going to be a pretty versatile character that can be paired with many different teams and potential play styles. She can have her strength be drawn out through reaction-based teams, and as long as you can deal any sort of reactions with Yae Miko, she can be placed in those teams. Now, optimizing her playstyle with details of her kit is going to be important. I can't speak on that right now, but Yae seemingly can be placed into main DPS, support DPS, and probably even the support burst DPS position as well. The only role she seemingly doesn't fit is going to be the healer role, and I could be completely wrong. Yae could probably just be a hyper resource hungry main DPS after she comes out, but I think that if miHoYo designs her in that way, then it really leans more into an electro based team playstyle. At best you're gonna have 2, and at worst you're gonna have 3, right? And if you have 3 electro, who's gonna be the last character that has enough uptime, right, elemental uptime, to take advantage of Yae Miko's scaling with elemental mastery to deal reaction based damage? Who knows, right? These are all questions that we need answers to, and I'm gonna go more into detail in future videos. And if you guys truly want the answer to certain questions, I do suggest you subscribe and follow my content, as I'm just here to poke at questions and approach things from a more inquisitive angle, I guess. So with all that said, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, like, subscribe, tune into my live streams. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, urge you all to stay safe and peace.